What we found were cases of what could best be described as spontaneous human combustion, the ability of the body to burn itself without having come in contact with an external source of fire or flame. And that's where SHC becomes extremely weird. Jack Angel's remarkable story begins on a Monday evening, November 11, 1974, at a parking lot in Savannah, Georgia. He had a room reserved for that night, but when he got there late and discovered that the room had been sold to someone else, he went back to the motorhome, fixed a bed, and laid down to go to sleep, expecting to wake up the following morning to meet with a clothing buyer. From that point on, Jack's life became a true-life, never-ending nightmare. First, he did not wake up the following morning. He awakened 4 days later, midday Friday, to discover, among other things, that his right hand had been burned black, burned to a crisp from the inside out. He also had burn wounds on his right chest, on his groin, on the nape of his neck. He also discovered that some discs in his spinal column had fused. All they could say was that these burns appeared to have been caused by a high-energy electrical type source, and that they had occurred from the inside of the body. They could find no evidence whatsoever of any malfunction in Jack's motorhome.
Nigel Cruttenden had 14 years forensics experience. Gruesome scenes were the bread and butter of his job, but nothing could prepare him for what he found in Barry Soudane's kitchen. These are the actual police photos taken by D.S. Cruttenden. They show that whilst the top half of Barry Soudane's body was burnt away, the kitchen he lay in was untouched.
One of his hands had burnt so much that it had fallen off and touched the edge of the unit down here and actually burnt it. And that was part of the only real bit of burning there was, and that was just a char.
Fire officer Jack Stacey discovered Bailey's body.
My theory, and I can't prove it, is the fact that somehow or other he had drunk something which had chemically mixed with the contents of his stomach and formed a gas which expanded in his stomach, and eventually it blew out.
Office cleaners reported the blaze, and firefighters were on the scene within minutes. As the senior officer, Stacey was first into the building.
We pitched a ladder to the window and I went up. He had about a 4 or 5 inch slit in his stomach where it had been opened up, and the flames were coming out from the slit in his stomach just like a blowtorch.